What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the J&A podcast. You know what we do every week, and as always, our wonderful co-host slash whatever you want to call them. On the other side, we have JJ. How you doing?
Whatever you want to call him, fellow YouTuber. I'm here. How's everyone doing? How are you doing, Aaron?
I'm doing phenomenal.
That's what I like to hear.
So, as I say every week, and how we're going to start it today, what are we talking about today? And we're not going to make it no hour, 30-minute like last time.
Hey, at least I chopped it up into 2 videos for the masses. I did a good thing for you guys.
Yes.
Well, the move, we're basically just going to hit the news, but you know, we have to start out how we always start out. What impressed you this weekend? What caught your attention?
This weekend.
Yeah, this past NFL weekend. There we go. Bingo.
No shade to you when I say this, but you're gonna totally agree with me. I promise.
It's okay.
What really impressed me this weekend was not the Patriots, but Bill Belichick. His coach, not the players, the coaching. That's what impressed me this weekend. Bill Belichick simply outcoached Mike McCarthy. Plays he was running, how he did things with his people, all around. I know this is a weird one. You expected me to say a player, but I'm gonna have to go with Bill Belichick this week because he truly impressed me with. He just simply outcoached Mike McCarthy, and I'm not gonna say it that much because that is your favorite team, so that's all I'm gonna leave.
No, I agree with you. I mean, yeah, they basically out-schemed the Green Bay Packers, and the fact that they were able to make adjustments drive by drive, pretty impressive.
Mid-game.
On both sides of the ball too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I give them props, no doubt. What caught my eye? I got to give it to Michael Thomas. That he showed out, and you're going up against Marcus Peters, who's universally regarded as a top 10 corner versus a top 10 receiver.
Did you do that because of what I said?
No.
Okay.
No, I was gonna pick Michael Thomas. No, I was gonna pick Michael Thomas the whole time. Nah, man, Michael Thomas, 12 catches, over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. A lot of discussion about him being a top 5 receiver. I don't 100% know if he's there yet, but definitely his name deserves to be brought up. I don't personally think he's there. I'll still keep him in the top 7 category, but
I mean, you simply can't put him there because of who already else is there. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're in the top 5 for a reason.
True, but I mean, somebody can get bumped down here or there, you know. But I feel like this game definitely was a statement, not only for Michael Thomas but for the Saints, because they went in there, beat the Rams, who are 8-0 entering this game. And I said last week, you know, I don't expect them to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I should have just said, yeah, they're going to win, because I ended up being right anyway. But shout out to Michael Thomas.
This is what I'm going to say. You know, you also have to give all hats out to Drew Brees for putting that ball where it needed to be, for leading him where it needed to be leaded. But all around, I liked his performance, hands down.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm not gonna necessarily question Marcus Peters in terms of like how he's been playing, but man, he's kind of concerning me, man. This isn't the first time where he's been. I'm not gonna say necessarily shredded, but this isn't the first time he's had to face the number 1 receiver, and he's been like not up to par with who he's matched up against. Like, it's starting to concern me a bit. But, you know, playoff time, who knows? Maybe he gets up for that game. But, of course, we got a lot of news to talk about. That's mainly what this is going to be about. It's just a lot of news, a lot of stuff we got to cover and get through, because 1 week in the NFL, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. And when Aaron comes back, there he is. I'll let him introduce something to the masses that we need to touch on.
You thinking where I'm thinking?
Well, we tend to think alike, so yeah, probably.
So you want me to bring up a certain something that happened, something? That's what you're getting at?
As long as you bring up everything that happened with that something, because it's a lot of stuff that went down.
That's something.
Yeah, facts.
That's Bryant.
There we go. That was that something we were referring to, by the way.
Was that something?
Yes.
But, alright, so pretty much what had happened was Nets finally got on our team. It would be the New Orleans Saints in NFC South, which a lot of people had pretty much, how can I say this, a lot of people had different opinions on it. Some people was thinking it was just a phenomenal move. Other people were like, that's trash. I don't know why y'all getting hyped up. I would tend to think that, well, before I say this, I'm just going to go ahead and get the news on. What had happened was on that's the second day of practice with the Saints, right?
Mm-hmm. Day 2.
He tore his, how do you say it? I can never say this right.
He potentially tore his Achilles.
Yep, he potentially tore his Achilles, and how it is sounding, it's not good. He most likely did. We can't sugarcoat it. So which that means is when Des finally got a break, it just went back into form. So he was just talking about how he liked being on that team because they have a better quarterback and all that. And I bet the Saints were glad to have him, but again, forsaken injuries. That's what happened. It's a bad one. So hard out to Des. Hope he gets better, because I don't have anything against us. Even if I did, I don't wish injury on no one. But I am glad that he's out of the South.
Just throwing that in there.
Yeah, just throwing that in there. So with that said, I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna let you have your opinion on it.
I don't have anything against Dez either, honestly. But I wasn't okay. Yikes. That went south. Kinda like his career. Anyway.
See what I'm saying?
The point is Dez got an opportunity that, you know, basically, and I'll tell you why they brought him in. Not necessarily because he's going to provide like firepower, because they only had 3 receivers healthy on their depth chart. That's why they brought him in. They had Michael Thomas, like Traquan Smith, and Austin Carr. Those were their 3 receivers that they had healthy. I know Drew Brees can throw it to anybody, but you would love to have a receiver like Dez out there.
With experience.
There you go, with experience. And even playoff experience if you want to take it to that next level. So to have him out there was huge. And then, of course, he gets injured. It's like a major setback for him. He was starting to get comfortable. And this is basically my like assessment of Dez. I wasn't expecting him to come in and just be heavily targeted, because he's not going to take away Michael Thomas's touches. He's not taking away Kamara or Ingram's touches. Hell, Ben Watson's been getting the ball a lot more. Their tight end, that's like 37. So he was going to come in and potentially be the 4th or 5th option. His job, basically.
As soon as he as soon as he put trust in Dez, and Dez would have caught like a game-winning touchdown or something, that's when Dez would have started getting more touches.
Yeah, I'm saying. I know. I'm saying like initially, and to give you a better example, I'll tell you what this reminded me of. The move, it reminded me of James Harrison going to the Patriots. He wasn't asked to be like this universally regarded beast of a pass rusher like he was back in the day. He was just asked to come in on certain packages and try to make a play. And he came in, had like a 2-sack game, I think.
That's how it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's basically just signing a veteran to make a couple of plays here and there. Nothing spectacular. I mean, yeah, if Dez would have had that one game where he just goes off 100 yards, like 7 catches, yeah, I'm pretty sure he would have got looked at more. But there's 2 guys whose touches are not going anywhere. That's Michael Thomas and Kamara. So he would have had to have dealt with being the 3rd option, because when he was in Dallas, he was kind of 1A and 1B with Witten. And then when Zeke got there, it was 1A, 1B with Zeke. So he would have had to be on a team where he had to take on a lesser role. Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going into way too much depth here. But, so, you said that there's no way Dez would have took away from Michael Thomas and all them reps, right? Or catches?
Correct.
Couldn't you use that as the Julio situation, though? Like, say, because now that they have Dez and Kamara and Thomas, maybe Thomas starts getting more better or gets covered more, and so they just start giving it to Dez, and Dez becomes their. You see what I'm getting at? I
see where you're getting at, but you got to remember teams are ran differently. If there's a play designed for Michael Thomas, guess who's going to get it? Michael Thomas.
Right. But pretty much like I was saying, like when Mohamed Sanu came in, people were like, he's still gonna get more receptions than Mohamed. But when he came in, that just put the threat around the whole board. You feel me?
Yeah, I think one year they had like the same number of receptions.
Was the main guys that people were saying you ain't taking away from his touches, but look what happened. You feel me?
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with Julio being like a player that's not selfish.
Julio being Julio.
I
thought that's what you was about to say. I thought you was about to say that's more of Julio being Julio.
Well, I mean, like it's more like him just not being selfish, you know, like understanding. Hey, but you also got to consider, yeah, he's not getting the touchdowns, but he's still getting his, you know, like he's had games this year where he's had 10 plus catches and over 150 yards, so it ain't like he's missing out on nothing.
So he's had more 100 yard. He's had I think already like 6 100-yard games.
Yeah, so he ain't really. The only thing he's missing out on is really touchdowns. I mean, and those are going to Ridley.
I ain't gonna sit there and waste my time. I just wanted to bring that up for fun. I want to see how you said about it.
I understand, but you know, of course, with the injury to Dez now, it sounds like it's going to be pretty bad. They are looking to bring in Brandon Marshall, another veteran, similar build.
That's gonna happen.
Similar build.
But obviously, we know who's better out of the two.
Yeah. But I think with Brandon Marshall though, I feel like I don't know. I don't want to necessarily say one's more serviceable than the other because we don't know. Because you'd have to put them both with Drew Brees and see. I think Marshall would be a better fit if you ask me. I think Brandon Marshall would be the better fit. Dez would be the better player. If you see what I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah, because I thought Dez, would have signed with Cleveland when he first went. I'm not going to lie to you. I actually thought that was going to happen. But I just feel like he's just a better fit because Brandon Marshall doesn't necessarily need the ball. Like, he's actually reliable in run blocking too, and he can help create space for other people. Whereas Dez, it's like he kind of needs the football. You have to throw it up to him and trust him.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more. I know, but there's more ways to impact the game than just catching a football. Get your hands dirty.
Get down a block, baby.
There we go. Keenan Allen, who's been balling this year as well. Another signing in the NFC South, though, now that we're on the topic, Bruce Irvin. Used to play with Dan Quinn. Oh, okay. Well, for those that don't know, because believe it or not, there are people that still think he's probably with Seattle, but my man, I haven't talked to him in ages. But Bruce Irvin, former Seattle Seahawk, his old defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, a couple of years ago, he said that he was looking forward to signing with Atlanta. Didn't happen that way. He signed like a 2 or 3 year deal with Oakland. Was recently released after nobody would trade a mid-round pick for him at the deadline, and the Falcons, I believe, maybe a day or two later, basically signed him for the rest of the season. Kind of brings versatility. He can drop down and play at the end, or he's actually a decent coverage guy, so he could play linebacker. Be interesting to see how the Falcons choose to use him.
A good coverage guy in Madden, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a good coverage guy in Madden, you're gonna have 62 zone coverage. I mean, that's just how it is. But I mean, I will say this though, like I think it's gonna be interesting to see like how the Falcons choose to use him. Will they use him as a defensive end or more as a linebacker?
As a defensive end.
A defensive end. Wow, they're not going to put him in coverage for a little bit?
Oh, no. They're going to... Hey.
All I'm saying is, man, Deion Campbell and Bruce Irvin, just saying, upgrade over Duke Riley, who you've pretty much dogged on for most of the year.
My bad, what happened?
Oh, I was just saying, you know, Deion Jones, Campbell, and Irvin as your linebackers. Just saying, upgrade over Duke Riley, who you've been pretty much dogging this entire year.
Hang on. Hold on now. What did I say last week?
You said you no. That's why I said mostly. You gotta hear me. You gotta hear me out. I said mostly. I know last week you said he actually had a solid game.
It was bad for the Falcons as an organization, but this is good for Duke Riley because he needed this reps. He kept on trying to look at the quarterback, and they would just run right past him.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it'll be interesting to see if they use him in a variety of ways or if they just tell him, hey, play DN. And that's kind of what I'm going to be looking for the next several weeks.
They're going to mainly use him at DN, but then they're going to slip. They're going to pull him out for coverage.
Yeah, because they're going to have a nice rotation now that they have another guy in there. Could get certain packages out there. But I thought that was a good signing for sure. One of those better veteran pickups. Anybody remember Dwight Freeney?
I don't remember Dwight Freeney. That helped a lot.
I think this is their version of Dwight Freeney. I think so. I think this is their version of Dwight Freeney. Just a veteran pass rusher.
Wow, because of the color of his skin.
Nah, man. In that case, I would have said like he's the Jared Allen of the Carolina Panthers back when he was a Panther for like a year. Speaking of the Panthers, you want to get into it since this is the Friday recording?
That's why I didn't bring up that earlier. So no, we can't do that because that was going to be one of my surprises. But I did because I was part of the movie.
You know what? I'll let you bring it up if you want to. How about that? All right. We will not bring up the 50 bomb that the Steelers dropped on the heads of Carolina.
Okay, so the Pittsburgh Steelers totally just ruined Carolina's day. Yesterday.
Potentially their season, but you know there's still time to play it out.
But that just got them one inch closer to the Falcons record. Is what I needed to think. God damn it.
You good over there, man? Is there something?
Yeah, man. It's on my side. It's mad. You know what it is.
Interesting.
But seriously, I'm gonna let you bring up that game since you wanted to, because I wasn't talking about it. I just wanted to say that.
A couple of interesting factors. So the Pittsburgh Steelers won their Thursday night matchup to start the new week. Yeah, we are recording this on Friday. A lot of stuff's been going down with the boys. Nothing bad, but all good stuff. But anywho, Steelers entered this matchup 5-2-1. The Carolina Panthers entered in at 6-2, I believe. The Panthers take their third loss to the Steelers, 52-21. Fun fact: 7 different Steelers had a touchdown in this game. And Christian McCaffrey scored all 3 touchdowns for Carolina. He was basically their offense throughout the night, which I can appreciate because I have him in one of my fantasy leagues. But yeah, I think a lot of people saying the Panthers got exposed, and I kind of have to agree to a certain degree. Yeah, to a certain degree, I have to agree with them. But what was your takeaway?
I agree too, because Carolina isn't that good of a team. People are talking about, they're 6-2, they're 6-2. But look at what at least one of their losses was to. It was to a beaten down Falcons. Yeah.
Division rival.
Facts, but hey, you know what I'm saying?
I know, but I think any division rival, unless it's in the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick division, I truthfully think any division team can beat any division team. Yeah, except for the AFC East.
Unless you're Tampa Bay.
Yeah, well, they beat New Orleans this year.
Oh yeah.
Like the very first week. That's when Fitzpatrick was like the MVP for 2.5 weeks.
Seriously.
No, sir. Yeah, Steelers, well-rounded game. James Conner actually has entered concussion protocol. Pretty convenient timing, because guess who gets to come back after this week? Potentially.
Oh, that would be crazy. Le'Veon Bell snacks.
The guy that we've been talking about basically the entire season, Le'Veon Bell. James Conner enters concussion protocol. I think they had some guy named Samuels finish the game, and he actually got a rushing touchdown in the game. So
watch them start them right over. I wouldn't be surprised if they start him over Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, but okay, you know what? I'm gonna put you in like one of their shoes, not Le'Veon's, but like a player in the locker room. If you're a player in the locker room, just hypothetically, this is not like meant for me to like get upset or anything, but if let's say you're one of Le'Veon's teammates, right? How would you respond to him coming back after everything that has been going on with him and you guys in the locker room?
Shit, I'm still happy, dude. Like, it's a fucking business. Like, put your pennies in the wad and just deal with it. Like, you're a bitch if you just sit here and say, "Oh, I'm out of Le'Veon." Like, it's a business. Like, shut up. It's not like you wouldn't listen. That's all I got to say.
I feel you. Yeah, I would welcome him back.
I'm giving him a little tap. I'm like, "Welcome back, brother," and then we get back to work, and that's what we're gonna do for the next week. We don't have time to worry about none of that.
Yeah, I'd definitely welcome him. If I were one of his teammates, I'd welcome him back with open arms. I wouldn't like be salty. Like, dude, I get it. Like, you're trying to extend your career, get a long-term deal. And the Steelers, they've been franchise tagging you after franchise tag. And there's people out there that actually think Le'Veon's being kind of selfish about the whole thing. And so you're saying, I'm just saying, for those people that are saying he's being selfish, if you were in Le'Veon's position, you mean to tell me you wouldn't respond the same way? The organization basically keeps saying you're not worth a long-term extension. You keep taking these one-year deals. Even though it is guaranteed money, but still, like, he just wants that insurance of being locked up on a deal. That satisfaction. And time is up, ladies and gentlemen. Just kidding. Alright, when Aaron returns, he can talk about something, and then we'll just kind of alternate. But until then, here's a word from our sponsors. We don't have any sponsors. The end.
We don't have sponsors. It sucks.
Nah, man. It was a prank. But I told them that, your turn to bring up a topic that you would like to discuss.
Trying to think about this.
It can be about a team, a player.
I'm trying to think of something. Get me started, because I was...
Alright, let's see. Well, I mean, I got school, just not 8 hours a day, but I know.
Stand privacy with your fucking mom and walking in your damn room.
Oh, that's because I closed the door, but...
Max, but I still have to hear him. You're some old man in the damn living room. I don't care, guys. It's a podcast. Y'all listen.
Yeah, well, you guys have to put up with it and just understand. Yeah, we have lives outside of this. Alright, so Eric Reed, the safety for the Carolina Panthers.
I don't know. What do you want me to say?
Well, I'm going to get into that. So He was called for, was it targeting, roughing the pass? What was he called for exactly? I kind of forgot.
It was roughing the passer, but it was an instant where they called it targeting.
Okay, so originally roughing the passer moved basically into targeting category and gets taken out of the game. And then he later on revealed that during the past 6 weeks of being on an NFL roster, he's been drug tested 5 times. Is there a conspiracy theory going on with him in the NFL? Like, are they trying to find a reason to get him out of the league, potentially?
Do you think he's going to get fined?
Potentially. But I'm saying, like, are they trying to find a reason to get him out of the league based on all the stuff, his association with Kaepernick and all that good stuff?
I don't know.
Like, do you think there's a conspiracy?
Probably not.
Just
I would have to.
Just to entertain the audience. I don't know. I don't tend to say like there's a conspiracy, but there's a lot of evidence pointing that it could be. But I'm not gonna say it is. Not yet. I need a little bit more. Like if they like ban him for a year for hitting Big Ben Roethlisberger, then yeah, there's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
But I mean, the reason that I personally think there's decent evidence for it to be considered that, like, you just joined the NFL roster after your stance with Kaepernick and not getting picked up in free agency because you were one of the first to kneel or whatnot. So I understand like why there would be a conspiracy, but you know, being drug tested 5 times out of the first 6 weeks, like, did they drug test Des Bryant yesterday? I'm not 100% sure. But they get drug tested 5 weeks in the last 6, or 5 times out of the last 6. That's rough. So I feel like there's enough evidence, but I still need to see more. Like if there's some sort of drastic year-long ban for hitting Big Ben on a hit that we've seen before that hasn't been called targeting or roughing the passer, then there's some outrage there, personally. But I'm not going to call it a conspiracy just yet. Just really messed up.
Look, bruh. I love you.
I appreciate that. Now, where are we going with this?
What did you do?
Oh, nothing. I was just telling them that I don't personally think it's a conspiracy yet, but there's enough evidence to why people would think that way.
It's not a conspiracy. I don't think. Not yet, anyways.
All right. Do you have anything that you're just waiting to share, get out there, news-wise?
I feel like you're saying that because there's something big that I'm not thinking about. Damn. Is there something big I'm not thinking about?
Well, I don't know. I kind of don't know. That's why I asked you.
I can't think of anything.
Yikes. Let's see. Anything going on? You know what? Let's talk about a team. I'll talk about a team, and then you talk about a team. So, my team, since I'm using them in my end, just in one of those regular practice videos, what the hell is going on with the Baltimore Ravens?
Haven't they been choking?
They've lost, like, I think 3 out of their last 4 games. They're now 4-5 after losing to Pittsburgh this past Sunday. Of course, we talked about Pittsburgh playing Thursday, which was yesterday, because they're on a short week. And they got to stay at home. But yeah, Baltimore dropping 3 out of the last 4. They've lost to teams like New Orleans and Pittsburgh in that stretch. They've also lost to Cleveland earlier this year. They're now 4-5, and John Harbaugh is in the hot seat. So my question, and this was the team I had going to the wild card, what the hell is going on in Baltimore?
Well, we said that about a lot of teams. Like, what the hell is going on in Tampa? What the hell is going on in Baltimore? what the hell's going on with blah blah blah. What the hell's going on with Dallas? We ask that all the time.
No answers. But
Well,
I
exactly.
seriously want to know. Like,
you can't never really just say what's going on with the team because you're not there, you know? Maybe they just, after they lost that game, something could have happened in the locker room where they got into a fight and they're not bonding anymore. Anything.
well,
You know?
that's why I'm saying, like, from our perspective, a fan's perspective, what are you seeing?
I've just seen a lack of. I'm not seeing that fire that I saw at the beginning of the season.
Like, is the offense still clicking? Is the defense starting to give up more points than they used to? They moved down to second in scoring defense. They were number one for the majority of the season. So you can see them starting to slip a little bit in statistical categories that they led.
I mean, we shouldn't even really count that because it's already hard enough to get the number one defense in the league. That's rough.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to count it against them, but what I'm saying is, you know, the reason I look at scoring defense more than just total defense is because, yeah, anybody can really get 400 yards of offense, but can you hold them to under 20? And Baltimore, on average, holds people to about 18 points a game. Maybe 19, I think, recently.
That's good.
So, I know overall they've been good, but recently in this, like, losing streak, they've been giving up at least 24, 23. Maybe even more, which would, you know, that number would put them just inside the top 10, maybe just outside of it.
Yeah.
Which is still good, but I mean, a team that was so dominant in that area slowly slipping, and then offensively, you know, missing Lamar Jackson for wide open touchdowns. I don't know. What's going on there, Joe?
I could have just done like an eye thing. Maybe he truly didn't see him, maybe he did. You never know. Anything, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a pass, even though we know how he feels about Lamar Jackson potentially being the future QB. I'm gonna give you a pass, Joe. Mr. Elite. But yeah, 4 and 5. The reason I asked that question is because, you know, I'm kind of curious. Like, this is a team that I thought would make the wild card according to my predictions. I had them going 9 and 7, and of course, they could still do that. All they have to do is go 5 and 2 in their next 7 games to accomplish that feat. But the way the AFC is looking at the moment, I don't know if 9 and 7 will clinch the 6th seed or not. You know, they'd have to have Cincinnati fall off, which is like similar to Atlanta. They'd have to have Carolina take a dip, and this past Thursday could have been the beginning of that. But it's rough. But is there a team?
The Falcons can make the playoffs after going 1 and 4.
I mean, they have a lot of stuff going in their favor, man. A workable schedule. Some of those guys that were once injured are going to come back. The team's already clicking right now as it is. They created momentum. So yeah, I think there's a lot of things working in their favor.
Just one game at a time. You have to beat Cleveland.
You got to beat Cleveland. Because after you beat them, guess who comes back to the lineup? Debo, aka Deion Jones. Trust me, yeah, I didn't know that was his nickname until Aaron told me, so I had to figure that one out too.
Money Matt.
I thought it was Matty Ice. Unless Money. Oh, yeah, Matt Bryant. There we go. I keep forgetting y'all have like 4 Matts on the team.
Matt Bosher, Matt Bryant, Matt Ryan,
Matt Schaub. You have 4 Matts on. Damn. That's a stat for you. Is there a team that you want to bring up though? Kind of discuss maybe a team you had higher expectations for. We kind of did this for an award, but you know, time has passed.
Let me think about this. There's, I mean, I know where I'm going with this.
Where are you going with this?
I'm going Cleveland.
Cleveland?
Yep.
Interesting. So what's going on in Cleveland?
It's not even about what's going on with Cleveland. It's or however you worded it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what I'm getting at is I know I have to keep on, or at the beginning of the season, I have to keep on telling myself, Hugh Jackson is their coach, whether they like it or not. And I still wanted them to be really good, or I thought they were going to go really good, even just because of the players that they have on the roster. But as you can tell, I'll just jinx myself, but as you can tell, they're not having the hottest game right now. And then not even that, but firing Hugh Jackson totally helped the situation. Yeah.
Yeah, just added more fire, more fuel to the fire, that dumpster fire. Just playing.
Alright, that's pretty much what I had to say about that.
Yeah, and I think Greg Williams, their defensive coordinator, is filling in at coach. Don't really see any change, honestly, to that team. Baker, I mean, you know, poor Baker, dude. He, besides Jarvis Landry, I mean, who the hell does he have to throw it to? Like, seriously.
They went from possibly the top 3 wide receiver core in the league to trash, except for Jarvis Landry. Because they killed Josh Gordon, which would have made him at least a top 7 receivers, and then receiver trio, and then they released, who was his name? What's his name? What's that guy's name? Yeah, you just make me look stupid. You know his name. You know what's that?
They released somebody? Is that what you're saying?
Or traded him.
Oh, Josh Gordon. They traded.
I said him. The third receiver they got.
I'm trying to think. Okay, so there was Antonio Callaway, Rashard Higgins, a couple other guys. I don't know. I know Josh Gordon was traded to the Patriots, obviously.
We cut.
Wait, do what?
You know, you're gonna look it up because I know you know.
If I did, I would have had the answer.
Look it up.
What is it?
I don't know how you would search it, but it was their third receiver. Why do you think Antonio Callaway become their third receiver? It's because they cut who their third receiver was.
Alright,
Maybe look at the Browns cut list. You can do that. I don't even care if we're wasting time right now. This is important.
Is it really that important?
Yes, it is, because now I look stupid and I will not go with this no longer.
You're just gonna have to accept it. Where's the phone at? Right here. Ah, boy. Let's see.
And then I think he went to another team and got cut by them too.
Went to another team and got cut.
How you gonna search this? Maybe look at the Browns cut list.
I'm just trying to. I'm gonna look for like a. I'm gonna just look for.
Receivers you know that were on the Browns or are on the Browns.
Oh, here, hold on. I'm gonna look for.
Josh Gordon was on the Browns. Jarvis Landry is on the Browns. Antonio Callaway is on the Browns. That's 3. Then you got.
Are you thinking of? No, Terrell Pryor left 2 seasons ago. I'm trying to help you think. Poor Terrell Pryor. He's on the Bills now. Well, I know they talked about bringing in Dez. Nothing happened there, obviously. Nah, right here it just says Josh Gordon, Jarvis Landry, Callaway, Rashard Higgins, Damian Ratley, and Derek Wiley's.
Okay, you know what? I'll find it out later and then I'll tell you off camera, okay?
Alrighty.
Sorry for the confusion, guys.
What was his jersey number?
I don't want to talk about it. Alright, let's go.
Nah, if this is important to you, we're gonna crack the case right now.
No, I forgot his jersey number. That's why I said let's just go.
All right, the mystery receiver that probably never existed is no longer in our memory. You said, well, hold on. I want to address something. I just realized what you said. They went from top 7 to below average. Let's address that real quick. The three, are you talking about 3 receivers or wide receiver duos?
Probably 3 receivers.
I don't think Josh Gordon, Landry, and Antonio Callaway would have been a top 7 trio.
Receiver. I'm telling you, there was another receiver.
yeah. When Dez Bryant was projected to get signed, yeah, I remember that.
You're tripping, JJ. You're tripping, bro.
I'm not tripping. You're tripping. There's probably not even another guy.
You're tripping, JJ.
I don't have. I'm wearing slides. They don't have shoelaces, so no, I'm not tripping.
Alright, let's just finish this podcast.
You're wrong. And it's okay. And it's okay.
Player that was on our second favorite team.
Yeah, I forgot a player that never existed on the Browns.
It's like the Browns winning record. Alright, come on.
Let's see. Is there anything else we really need to talk about that you just need to address for some reason?
Okay, guys, listen. Everybody that's watching the podcast, right? I'm sorry for holding that time right there. But I'm gonna crack the case, damn it. And when I come back, y'all all are gonna be looking stupid. Okay?
Hey, JJ, I couldn't find it. I wonder why.
That's not what's gonna happen. That's not what's gonna happen. You're gonna be like, oh, how did I forget him?
Because he played for the Browns. I don't know. You tell me. So, is there anything else that you need to address? I mean, you haven't brought up anything really.
Well, like I said, I'm J&A podcast. I'm normally you the one to beat the news out, and if I have something I need to either correct you on because it pissed me off, or
correct me on,
give you my opinion. Yes, you need to be corrected sometimes.
Can you even name 5 times on the podcast I've been corrected?
Alright, you know what? We don't want to have a argument in the podcast. We'll say this shit after fun. Hey, we can go for the views, okay? Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Hashtag still the views, bro.
Is that still a movement?
Listen here, you piece of shit.
Is that a movement? Is that still in effect? Is Myth still doing that?
I think it is, bro. I think it is.
Okay, you know what? Fine. Since you don't want to bring up anything, I'll just bring up something. Why not? All right. So, you remember the trade deadline, right? Everybody that got traded, right?
Week 7.
Okay, so out of the 5 players that were traded, 3 of them got to play Sunday. Demaryius Thomas, HaHa Clinton-Dix, and Amari Cooper. What did you think about them in their debut games with their new teams?
Well, okay, so HaHa Clinton-Dix, he was average. He wasn't phenomenal. He wasn't trash. There was some plays where he was not great. There was some plays where he was really good. It was just one of them days, you know. So he, you know, and including that he got the start, I'm gonna give him a stop. I'm gonna give him a. I don't know how do you want to rate this?
On a scale from 1 to 10, how did he look to you?
I'm gonna give him the upper edge. I'm gonna give him a 6. Okay.
6. Okay.
Don't think of it like a 6 is amazing though. Think of it like don't think that high into the scale. Like you don't get to be great to like 8 or 9 on this scale. Okay. So don't think that 6 is good. It's just a little bit above average, in my opinion.
Okay. And Demaryius Thomas and Amari Cooper, what'd you think?
Amari Cooper, I'm gonna give him a. Well, he did have a touchdown on his first. What do you want to call it? First game. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give him a gonna give Sam a 6 also, just because of the touchdown. If not, I would have given him a 5.
All right, and Demaryius Thomas. He had 3 catches for 61.
I want to hand it over to you because I'm not going to sit here and act like I did. I needed to watch some more stuff on Demaryius Thomas. I don't know how he did that well. So if you have anything, just tell me. Like if you have any numbers, stats, or whatever to help out my final.
He had 3 receptions for 61 yards. He didn't really play a whole lot of snaps.
For how many yards?
3 receptions for 61 yards.
And he didn't play that many snaps?
Yeah, he kind of played basically like a little bit over half the game.
That's pretty good for 3 receptions. It takes like an average receiver like 7 damn catches to get to 60. Because they're just getting dinky dunk, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure.
So I'm assuming you're gonna give everyone a 6.
Yes. Actually, no. I'm gonna give him a 5 because he didn't play that many snaps.
Okay. I gotta tell you, you are one harsh judge. You know that? Like, if you were judging this slam dunk competition, you'd give the guy a 9, and it was like a perfect 50 dunk. You'd just give him a 9. Because because nothing's a 10 in your mind. That's where I'm getting at. Nothing's good. You're just that judge.
You would have gave one of them a 10. Go ahead, boy. Tell me, who would you have given a 10? I need to hear it.
None of them. I'm just saying, based on your 6s and 5s, like, damn, that's pretty bad.
You gotta show me something, JJ. I'm not just gonna give you a free grade. You gotta earn it.
That's something. All right, when your teacher tells you that at the end of the year, you gotta earn it.
Slap the fuck out of him.
and I'm pretty sure if one of them watch this, they're gonna be like, "Yep, hold my beer."
I'm gonna slap the baby out.
Oh man, I'm a Miss Caldwell.
Dude, I'm going to hell. No, I'm sorry. I'm just playing. Everybody, I was just playing. I already feel bad. I just said it.
He was dead ass. No, I'm just playing.
Sorry. Playing, guys.
Dang, handing out 5s and 6s. I like it. No, I like it. Actually, yeah, be that guy. It's all good. So nobody really created any separation of like who stood out more. So like nobody stood out more to you out of the 3.
Yeah, you're all trash.
Interesting. I thought they were decent a second ago.
I'm just playing. Yeah, you do know I'm playing when I like. Do you just play around when you say that, or do you truly not know, as your best friend, if I'm playing or not? You need to work on that communication. If not,
you should know I'm like trolling half the time, right?
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. See, that was another test.
Like earlier today when I was texting you, you were like, you know he has workout videos, right? I'm like, yeah, no shit. Colin Kaepernick has workout videos. Okay, actually, I'm gonna switch up my grading system. It's still gonna be 1 to 10, but some grades are getting changed.
Because of what I did?
No, just this is my personal opinion. Clinton Dix. I'll start with you, sir. I don't have a problem with Clinton Dix as a person or a player, really. Yeah, actually, I do have a problem with him as a player. I feel like he takes plays off. You're playing one of the best offenses in the league. Don't take any plays off, son. I gotta give him a 5. He let Julio score his first touchdown of the season. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's like the most talked about thing now.
It was Josh Norman too, because he got fucked up.
I know, but who had the chance to save that from happening?
If he made the tackle, ruined Julio's dreams.
Because Josh Norman basically got, destroyed on a block by Jake Matthews, a man that's like 100 pounds heavier than him.
But he was the one initially on Julio who got thrown off. Did you not see him get thrown off Julio?
No, I seen him. I give him credit. Like I said, I give him credit for trying to hang with him.
Josh Norman did. Sorry for the sexual business, but you just gotta know how it went down.
Yeah, but you do gotta give Norman credit though. A lot of elite corners that said they would have stuck Julio probably wouldn't have the entire game.
It didn't work though.
I know that. Okay, what corner in this league can cover Julio one-on-one realistically?
Oh, we talked about this. Nobody.
Nobody. So you actually think Josh Norman would be the guy to do it? Interesting.
Well, now, like I said, I will give this man like 100% credit for sticking to him the whole game, except for 3 snaps. Like that's
yeah. At least he stuck with his assignment.
His career on the line. Like people can say, "Damn, all that shit you couldn't even cover Julio," which they can say now. But it's the fact that he actually put all that to the side just to try to make his team better.
Not even Patrick Patterson can cover Julio. He basically gets owned every time he faces him.
Yeah, you remember that? That was funny. I remember that in that Cardinals game.
Poor guy.
He got fucked up.
And that's when he was like regarded as a top 3 corner, and that was like his worst game in his career. But anywho,
Well, it's Julio.
Exactly, and it's Josh Norman who.
There's a reason teams don't just let one corner sit on Julio all day. You gotta have that safety. You gotta have that corner. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but I'm just saying, give the man props for taking that assignment head on. I mean,
that's what I'm saying too. I give him props.
How many corners can do that, or would be willing to take that assignment? Exactly.
Nobody, probably.
Nobody. I think I told you this before too. I will take the top 5 receivers over the top 5 corners. Like if they all had to 1v1 each other, I'll definitely take top 5.
You gotta think about it. Receivers just have so much stuff they can do. Like receivers know what they're running. They know when to. A corner is all about reacting. Like that receiver done made the cut. Before you even know it was a cut. Like that's just.
Better get your reacting ass on top of your game.
That's why I would take a receiver over a corner any day.
But yeah, haha, Clayton Dix, I'm giving him a 5, just because like he had his ups and downs. He's still taking plays off. I just need him to be consistent, and a 5 basically means you were inconsistent. And Demaryius Thomas, I'm giving him a 6 for, limited snaps. He made the most of every catch, and he's playing with a team that's on like a 6-game winning streak. And then I have to give Amari Cooper. The only reason I'm gonna give him a 7, right, is because the touchdown and the fact that he has like the worst quarterback out of the 3. Even though haha plays defense. So I have to give Amari Cooper an edge because of who his quarterback is. Like, to catch a touchdown from Dak, like, that's impressive. I didn't even know he could throw touchdowns.
It was a short one.
Hey, it was a 4-yarder, and then he tried going to him again. Didn't even see Kevin Byard, who, by the way, got suspended for his celebration. Or not suspended, or fined. That's what I meant to say. I keep wanting to say suspended for some reason. I forgot. The other day, okay, so I have this speech that I'm doing, and instead of saying speech, I kept saying essay, and now I'm saying fine instead of suspension. There's something wrong with me. I'm about to get drug tested. But, yeah, Kevin Byard got $10K taken out of his pocket for doing the celebration.
I bet he would do it again.
Yeah, I bet he'd do it again too. Especially if it were a pick 6, I think he'd do it again. Which, Dak Prescott's been throwing him here and there. Actually, crazy stat about Dak. You remember that stat I posted about Dak?
Yeah, that's like the damn Bears scoring a touchdown on y'all and getting a pick, and then running to the damn Green Bay. That'd be fucked up. Especially
considering that's a rivalry game. I don't care if someone gets suspended for that. At that point, if they just straight up fight them, I don't care. You listen. It's a rivalry game. You gotta tune it up. That's just where I'm just gonna leave it at that. Kick their ass. I don't care. Get suspended. You're gonna show them you ain't nobody's bitch. And shout out to Byron Jones. He was like the only guy that tried to defend the star pretty much. I know, but hell, I mean, compared to what his teammates did, you know, I'm just saying. It may have been a push, but you know, what did his teammates do? Nothing. They just sat there and watched him do it. That's disrespectful. And if that were like one of our favorite teams, bro, we'd be tripping.
Oh, fuck.
So I give him credit for at least that gentleman shove that he did. I mean, the team didn't even defend themselves throughout the rest of the game too. Let Marcus Mariota look like freaking top 5 quarterback.
Fuck off. Oh yeah, facts.
I mean, Marcus Mariota. Haven't been able to say that in a while.
You're on me,
All right, I think we pretty much covered everything there. What do you think? All right, you want to close the show?
Guys, listen. I'm gonna break it to you straight. We need to pay for that.
Yeah, do your part. If y'all put as much effort as to viewing these videos as you do other things, like, you guys will be way more successful in life. That's one thing my YouTube channel and Aaron's YouTube channel will guarantee is success for you guys. Like, you want to pass your final, watch our videos. Motivation.
Exactly. Alright guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this edition of J&A Podcast. If you want to see any previous ones that was not as hectic as this one, they are in the YouTubes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it's in a playlist.
We always enjoy y'all come out and watch it. Put a lot of effort into it. So thank you for checking us out, and bye.
See ya.